Good morning, YouTube. This is Eric, the dumb electrician, back in the old alternative energy carport that we got going on today. And just wanted to show you it's cloudy outside. You know, it's 8:30 here in the morning in eastern part of Kansas. And so there we got, 28 volts, 24 watts coming in off 600 watts of solar panels. So, not a good morning so far to start out with. And then our wind, it just died down. So you see my batteries are down to 24.73 volts this morning. If I can get it in there to focus. Okay. So anyway, it's kind of what we got going on this morning. I'll talk a little bit more about these batteries in another video. I'll have something set up for that. And, let's see. I got something in the mail this weekend, and I'll share it with you. If I can get it out of the package. Well, that's nice. Whoop, there it is. So, off the recommendation of another YouTuber, I got this little amp meter that I'm going to stick in here where this meter is right here. This meter does okay. You can see the wind turbine went to producing volts, but it gets up to about 670 watts, and then it dies. Then it resets, and it does that on amp hours as well. It gets about 66, 67 amp hours, and it dies. So not a, it's not a huge factor, but when you're trying to keep track of what you're producing, over time, it really doesn't lend itself very well. So anyways, you can see wind's about 8 to 12 miles an hour this morning. It's not real gusting. So there she kind of picked up a little bit. So let's go outside and take a look at this turbine. Some things I want to talk to you about with this turbine. Okay, this turbine is a 3-blade, 700 watt Happybuy wind turbine. Bought it off Amazon about a month ago. It's about $300 when I bought it. First one I got, it came in and it just wasn't producing like it should. I mean, we had some pretty good winds when I had it, and so it just was kind of defective. So I sent it back, and before I got the old one sent out, the supplier had already shipped a new one to me, this one, and I put it up. There are some tips I've got for you guys that are wanting to install wind turbines. First of all, location is key. So like right here, you can see that where my carport is and where my shop is. I'm about 8 feet above the top of that shop. Well, the wind, like right now, is coming out of the south, and I'll stay on it for just a minute. But the wind comes up, hits the carport, hits the garage, bounces up. So if you'll watch this, and the wind's not very fast today, but you'll see that thing, see how it's tweaking in the sun, or the wind, I mean. Some of that I think's, turbulence coming off the carport, hitting the shop and going straight up. So it's kind of bouncing the turbine around. The winds that we had here last weekend was, we had winds gusting 40 to 45 miles an hour, and it topped out about 400 watts. So, but it did average 3.1, or it did make 3.1 kilowatts over 2 days there, and which I figured out a little over 100 watts an hour is what it was producing. But that was 25 to 30 mile an hour gusting winds, to 40, 45. But it could do better if I raised it up higher or got it away from the obstacles. So I'll try to pan out. But you also see some trees to the north, and you can't see it in this frame, but those trees, so that turbine's probably about the top of those trees. So I wish I could get it up another 10 or 15 feet higher, and I'm trying to work out an idea for a tire to get it up higher to where I don't have these obstacles in the way and get interruptions in the breeze. Plus, the higher up you get, the more consistent the breeze is. So like right now, you'll see it'll spin fast for a little bit and then die down. Some of that's caused from not being up high enough. So there is that. Also, make sure your blades are balanced on that. There's some videos on the YouTube here about balancing your blades. When I first put that thing up, it was going whoa, 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 whoa. Sounded kind of like an old ceiling fan, and so I took it down and did some measuring and got the blades balanced correctly, and now it spins up easier, and it doesn't make a lot of noise when it's spinning at full speed. So anyway, I'll get that meter installed in there probably sometime this week, and get a couple other things done to the system, and I'll hope to talk to you again real soon. I'm Eric the Dumb Electrician, and I'm out.